Hey my loves, what's up? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Crissanna, and if you're new here, then welcome, and if you're an oldie, welcome back. So guys, before we get into today's video, I really wanted to talk about the 25 days of Christmas that I really wanted to do. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do exactly that, but I do really want to do something like that. So I think starting December 1st, I'm going to do 5 videos a week until Christmas time, because I just feel like I'm not going to be able to film on the weekends and stuff unless I get in like extra videos during the week. Then I might do the full 25 days, but if not, I will probably be doing like 20 days. So I feel like that's still a lot of videos, especially for me to film, because I'm used to filming 2, 3, maybe tops 4 times a week. So even 5 videos a week is going to be challenging for me, but I'm hoping that I can do it. I've been buying a lot of makeup goods at like Ulta and different stores. So I have a lot of different makeup and new makeup to play around with. So I'm really excited. So in today's video, we're going to be testing out the Tarte Iconic Palette Library. This is the Amazonian Clay Collector set. So this has 4 new face and eye palettes. So I actually planned on filming this a while back. I ordered it on Ulta's website like 3 weeks ago, and it literally took over 2 weeks to get here, which is so unusual because like Ulta's stuff, like usually when I order, it's usually here within like a week tops, but they've been working with like this different shipping company, and I'm telling you what, like it's been taking forever for my stuff to get here, and it's kind of irritating because I usually expect it within at least like a week, just because I know how fast Ulta shipping can be. So in here, you guys, we have 3 eyeshadow palettes, and then we have 1 face palette. So I'm going to go ahead and pull everything out of the pack, show you, and then we're going to go ahead and apply everything to the face and eyes. And you guys, these palettes smell amazing. So we're going to start with the bottom one. So this is the Lights, Camera, Lashes eyeshadow palette. So here's what the packaging looks like. So this is plastic, but it's like heavy duty plastic. And then here is what the inside looks like. So this is, I think this is more of like the pinky toned one, but this is absolutely gorgeous. And I did go ahead and swatch a few of these the other day, and they are so creamy and so pigmented. And each palette has a mirror, which I absolutely love as well. If I didn't say, this retails for $49, which I also got the new Too Faced collection, and I paid $49 for. And I really do not like that, you guys. So I'm hoping that these ones are a lot better. And then next one we have is the Tarte Big Ego eyeshadow palette. And this is the more pinky toned one. And again, you have a big mirror. Then next up we have the Parquet Princess. So this is the face palette. So it looks like you get 2 blushes and then a shimmer shade or a highlighting shade. And then the last eyeshadow palette we have is the Tartelette eyeshadow palette. And this is more of like your neutral, everyday kind of mauve brownie tones. Again, super excited to play around with these. So I'll definitely be doing 2 looks with 2 palettes. So the key ingredients in these palettes are the Amazonian clay, nature's most perfect ingredient for better, longer, truer wear, mineral pigments, soothe and soften skin, vitamin E, natural preservative that also acts as an emulsion and an antioxidant. And then as you go down, it just pretty much tells you the shade names and like what their undertones are. When gift giving season with the Tarte's Iconic Palette Library Amazonian Clay Collector Set, a limited edition library of 4 new iconic palettes for less than the price of 2, which is absolutely great. So before we get into the blush palette, I'm going to take the Ciate London bronzer, and I'm just going to warm up my face. Because the only thing I have on right now is a foundation, concealer, and then some powder. So I know there for a while I was really into like cream bronzers and blushes, but now that it's wintertime, I feel like powders just look a little bit better. So I'm not really sure if this shade would be considered a bronzer. It's very, very fair. So this one is called City Lights, this is called Happy Hour, and this is called Park Ave Princess. So let's first go in with Happy Hour. So these have a lot of kickback, but I'm guessing, yes, they also have a lot of pigment too. Oh my god, you guys, that shade is absolutely stunning. All it took was 1 dip with my brush. And then let's take Park Avenue Princess, and I'm going to apply that right on this side. So I really thought that this shade wouldn't show up, which it really doesn't, but it is super faint, which can be really nice on some days. And then I'm going to take a highlighting brush and I'm going to take the shade City Lights. This looks like a really nice highlighting shade. Absolutely love that these palettes have mirrors. I feel like it makes them so much more travel friendly. Because I'm definitely, like when I'm traveling, I'd rather have something with a mirror than something without. And then I'm just going to take a pencil brush to get my nose and my Cupid's bow. Oh, that is such a pretty freaking highlighting shade. I really like this palette, you guys. I think this is an absolute winner. All right, now let's get to the good stuff, the eyeshadow palettes. So I'm really trying to decide on which two eyeshadow palettes I want to use for today. They're all pretty much around the same tones. They're all like pinkish, mauve brownie shades. But first, let's do one eye at a time. And I'm first going to use the Big Ego palette. So I'm just going to take my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer and prime just one lid. And then I'm going to take some of the Maybelline Fit Me powder just to set the lid. So since all these palettes are pretty soft and natural, I think I'm going to try to use this palette for a darker look and then use one of the other two for a softer, lighter look. So first going with the Big Ego palette, and I really want to take this shade right here. And this is either called Strong or Boss Babe. I'm not sure how they read because on the back, sometimes it's not always the same as what it is on the back. So I'm guessing this shade is going to be Strong over here. So I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to put it right directly into my crease. So once I've got that stamped down, I will go back in and just deepen it up. So now that I've got that shade placed where I want, no extra product, I'm just going to lightly start blending right here on the edge. So once I blended that, we're going to go in with this shade in the center up top, and this is called a Goal Getter. Place this right above the last shade just to blend it out. So this shade is very pigmented and has a lot of kickback. So I think now I want to go in with the deepest matte shade. It's going to be this shade down here, and this is called Empower. Still using the same brush. I'm going to pop this right into my crease and also right here on the outer V. Now this shade is highly pigmented. And then once I got this shade down, I'm going to go back into the Strong shade. Picking up very little product, I'm going to use a Strong to build out that deep shade just to help us get a better blend. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. I'm going to go back in with the Goal Getter and I'm just going to lightly just blend. All right, guys, so far, so good. The blend is looking decent. So now we're going to go in with some shimmer shades. So I'm going to take this JH41 brush. So the first shimmer in the palette I want to take is going to be this one down here, and this is called Positivity. And I'm going to start packing this right here on just like the inner part of the lid. So I wouldn't say the shimmer shade is like I thought it was going to be. I thought it was honestly going to be a little bit more smoother and butterier. And then I'm going to take the shade in the center, which is called Humble. And I'm not sure how dark this is going to be, but I'm just going to apply this right here on like the middle of the crease. And then I'm going to extend it over here to the outer V. I'm just making sure to blend in all the shades together. So I'm going to go back in with the deepest shade, which is called Empower. And I'm just going to rotate this right here on the outer V just very lightly. And then just very lightly as well, just going to drag it right up here. I think look number one is complete. Honestly, guys, I did get quite a bit of fallout. And like I always say, at the very end, once we have both eyes done, we will do the lower lash line and put lashes on. So now, guys, on to look number two. All right, guys, I went ahead and primed one eye off camera just to save us some time. So the palette I decided to go in with is the Tarte one, just for the simple fact that this has some dark matte shades. It does only have one shimmer shade, but I feel like that shimmer shade is going to be really pretty. And you guys, these literally smell so freaking good. So I'm first going to take this shade up here called Graceful. I'm going to start blending this right up here above the crease. These shades are really pigmented. Then I'm going to take this shade down here, and this is called Dreamer. And this time I'm going to keep this one a little more into my crease. Take the deepest matte in the palette called Trailblazer. So I'm going to pack this right here along the outer V, and then I'm also going to bring it into the crease. Like, you guys, when I say that these shades are like butter, they are like butter. I'm going to go back in with the last blending brush and just blend everything out. So now I definitely could do a matte all over the lid, which I think would be really pretty, but I love my shimmers. So I'm going to take the shimmer shade in this palette, and this is called a Go Getter. And I'm just going to pretty much use this shimmer shade pretty much all over the lid because I don't have another one in this palette. This is a really nice light, like lavender color shade. I mean, the shimmers aren't like super pigmented, but they are nice because they're like very light and just pretty. Like very nice for natural, subtle looks. And there you guys go. There is look number 2 down. That was super freaking fast. Like, that was super easy to create. So I am going to go back into the Big Ego palette, and I'm going to use the first shade called Boss Babe, and I'm going to use this to highlight both sides. And then whatever is left on my brush, I will just put right up here. So let's do the lower lash line for this side now. I'm first going to go back in with Strong. So I don't want to pick up a lot of this product. I'm going to run this right along the lash line. And then I'm going to take Empower. And I'm going to keep this really close to the lash line. And then going back into the Tarte palette, I'm first going to take the shade Dreamer. Same thing, just going to run this right along the lash line. And then I'm going to take the shade Trailblazer. So for both sides, I'm going to use a creamy white eyeliner, and this is the Pinky Rose Hip Hop eyeliner. So this is like a multi-stick, but it's in this shade. I'm just going to use this on my waterline. Alright guys, so really quickly, I'm going to go off camera, apply my false lashes, and then I'll be back to show you guys the finished look and give you my thoughts on this collection. Alright guys, so here it is. Here is the finished look. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a close-up. Quickly, I'm going to go ahead and do some swatches, and then we're going to talk all about this collection. So I figured since I didn't get to use one of the palettes, I would swatch that, but I'm also going to swatch the other two as well. So let's swatch Tarte first. So I'm going to start with the white shade. I'm going to go over and then so on and so forth. So there is the Tarte palette swatched. So honestly, you guys, these shades are really pretty. I just don't feel like they're supposed to be like super deep and super dark, because I felt like there for a minute the swatches were just very like light, but I think that's what these palettes are like made for. Like, you really can't build them up too much. And we're gonna go in with the Big Ego one. Same thing, I'm gonna start up here and then so on and so forth. So here is the Big Ego palette swatch. The only shade that didn't swatch was this one right here. It swatched, but it really wasn't good. And in the palette, it's this one right here. That feels like super rough. It literally feels like fish scales. Like, it doesn't feel super buttery like the other ones did. But I really love the first shade up there. I think that is a perfect highlighting shimmer shade. So now we're going to swatch the last palette. So this is the palette that we didn't get to use. This is the Lights Camera Lashes. So same thing, start up here and then go over. So here is what this one looks like. These ones all swatched really well. The shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. They're so buttery, and all the mattes in here felt really buttery as well. So just in case any of you guys wanted to see, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the blush palette as well. So again, this is in the shade Park Ave Princess. So I'm going to start with this shade and then so on and so forth. So here is what the blush shades look like swatched. The only one that swatched decent was the highlighting shade, but they really do apply beautifully on the cheeks. So guys, that was all 4 palettes on the eyes, on the face, and swatched. So what do I think about this collection, you guys? I would give this 10 out of 10 stars. Everything performed so well, and I definitely do think it's worth the $49. Now, for the Too Faced one, Around the World, on the other hand, that is so not worth the money. If you guys are looking for these mini palettes at a great price, definitely pick up this set. I absolutely love it, and I'm super happy that I purchased. And like I said again, if you guys do want to see the Lights Camera Lashes palette in action, just let me know down below and I will make a video on that one. So if you guys like this video and you guys want to see more videos like this one, please be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. If there's anything at all that you guys want to see next, please let me know. If I do decide to do the 20 days of videos in December, I'm going to definitely need some ideas. So if you guys have any ideas on things you guys want to see, please let me know down below. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.